Hello, Ben.
Hello.
Hello, we're in Miami.
Nice.
Hooray! I want you to pick
I oh
autocross, time attack, or skip in advance.
yeah. Very tempted to go skip in advance, but we're going choose autocross.
Autocross. That will be driving.
Autocross repair, autocross replace.
We will be driving a McLaren for this, so that makes sense because we are a McLaren driver.
I bet it does.
Ha ha ha! I haven't. I kept thinking over during the week, but I should probably practice this. Navigate through some carefully placed cones as quick as possible. Take care to avoid hitting or missing the cones, as they will incur
Do you
time
now
penalties.
appreciate what I mean when I say I'm better at Hitman when I'm not recording?
Yeah, only I'm just not good at this at all. I just enjoy it. That's for.
I'm not brilliant at Hitman, but I'm not as bad as I am on camera.
I've seen some of your scores, and you seem a bit clumsy.
Well, yeah, I get it done.
Oh, I hit the cone gate! I hit the other cone
Uh,
gate! No, let's skip that one.
like when I couldn't open that, or I couldn't push that button in Nightfire.
Yes, it is a bit.
I suddenly
Oh,
forgot which button was the action button. That was embarrassing.
oh my god! If you
Yeah,
the
I,
target
s-
time is to do this in less than a minute 52.
I pulled my glasses. I sat down and I put my glasses on. That's what I did. But would you like a topic?
Yes, I would like a topic. Oh fucking hell!
Well, last time we talked about Star Wars pod races.
We did.
And
It was a
shortly
connections
before,
round.
yes. Sorry for ruining that if you're watching this one before that one, but who cares?
Well, that one came out
Which,
first, so really you shouldn't be. If you're not doing these in
I don't
order,
know.
then what is the fucking point?
Maybe they're
There's a
just
cannon. There's
watching.
a cannon. God damn it! This isn't Legends.
You gotta follow the law, man.
Yeah. How else will
Um,
you know what's happened in our lives unless you're following it in order?
it might just be binge watching this playlist.
Okay, that's
That's a
possible.
thought,
But
isn't it?
if they are,
Um,
why?
hmm.
It's awful. I'm shit. I failed autocross because I kept crashing into stuff. If I hadn't skipped
Oh,
one of them, instead of going, I deliberately skipped one. Right? If I hadn't
yeah.
skipped it, I would have managed it. That's what happened there. I
Well,
could I could
yes.
restart it,
Um,
to be fair.
and before we started recording, you mentioned a Star Wars character.
Yes, Jar Jar Binks.
Yes, and
He said
the
love that
reason,
anus.
yes, his son was watching an inappropriate video on the internet.
It's on
Um,
YouTube and it's some guy playing a video game. Jar Jar
the
likes
internet.
anus.
Well, YouTube is on the internet. But anyway,
We're on
um,
YouTube. We're not wholesome at all. Do you cheek for button to say that we're not appropriate for children?
of course I do.
I also do that, and I was like, do we need to start making child appropriate content, or would that change who we are as people? I feel like it would change who we are as people.
Anyway,
Yes. Anyway,
I've lost my train of thought. Yes, I
Jar Jar
was.
Binks.
I watched a really interesting video.
I believe that.
It was about the politics of Star Wars,
Okay.
entirely the
Damn it.
prequels, and it included a lot of stuff from the Clone Wars
Yeah, makes sense.
trilogy, not trilogy,
TV
the
series.
series. Yeah, which I was like, oh, okay, I understand this world a lot better now because he was talking about how the Senate was getting more and more corrupt, and people were like war profiteering, and eventually got to the point where people were just sucking up to Palpatine because there was money in it.
Yep.
You know, yeah,
Dooku
not
was
in
right, basically.
oh god, yeah, not in the actual films, really. Not touched upon. We're told the Senate is corrupt, but we're not shown it. You know, it's got to be in the text. Anyway, there was the scene where Jar Jar Binks gives Palpatine
Emergency
um,
powers.
emergency powers. And of course, I'm familiar with this scene, but I suddenly had the thought, and I wrote this verbatim in my notes. The exact thing I put was,
Before
hang
you
on.
read that, there's going to be a slight loss of video because I've lost the sound and I need to fix it. So, yeah, that's happened now.
Are you cutting this, or are we
No, we'll roll with it while you talk.
rolling with it?
Yeah, I'm just letting you know so that you don't panic.
Alright,
Not that you would panic. You probably don't give a shit. Anyway,
we're in the setting. Okay.
carry on.
You're still gonna. This is still video, is it?
Yeah,
We're still
yeah.
recording.
We're still recording.
Okay. Well, I put this verbatim in my notes. Who the fuck elected Jar Jar? that is to say, was there like an election campaign?
Probably. I mean, I feel like Jar Jar probably got it automatically because of his involvement in bringing peace to Nabubians.
Well, you say that, but I mean, the Gungans seemed kind of sick of his shit.
Yeah,
You
but
know?
then they made him a general.
Well, yeah, but that's because I don't know. Why did they make him a general?
I don't know.
Because it was funny.
Video's back.
Because if there's crime trials, you need a patsy. I don't know.
Hey, maybe. I mean, how many times did he try and surrender and accidentally kill a droid?
Maybe general is actually the lowest rank in their army.
Yes, slightly lower than infantry, and much lower than the shit that comes out of those things that carry the giant shields.
Yes. Yes. But I just had images of all the hoops Jar Jar had to jump through to get elected senator.
Was he not deputy senator? Is that not how it worked? He was deputy. He was senator, and then he was deputy senator, and so when she went into hiding, he took in as a temporary role.
I don't know. You may well be right. I mean, I always assumed there were two senators, but
I think she says to him, to
no.
look after things while she's away.
Well, that sort of makes sense because that seems like the sort of role that would be. You'd run on the ticket, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
It'd be like the vice president ticket, and I could see her getting elected. And people may be trusting her judgment when it came to picking her running mate.
I want to have a look at the track if it'll let me. That one.
Jar
Oh, I
Jar
pressed the wrong button!
As a senator, what did you do? Oh
I
God,
went-
you're in it now. Yeah.
I pressed go to track, not look at track. I'm an idiot. I don't know why this is qualifying. We're on soft tyres at least. Anyway, yeah,
Well,
I mean, he would have got it because she was popular. He was mates with her. And let's be honest, he has done good things for the Gungans.
he was involved in that, and he does represent. It's a seat at the table for the Gungans when perhaps they wouldn't have had one before.
Well, I mean, they weren't even talking to the humans on the Boo, were they? I use humans lightly because I mean they're not really human, are they? But
There was another general guy in that battle, wasn't there?
yes, Tarsus, General Tarsus, I believe.
Yeah. Why didn't? I mean, I suppose the only because she knew him and she was friendly with him.
Oh, that wasn't good. That's a track limits violation for sure.
I guess she didn't want anybody else who could challenge her power, so she got some fucking
Weakling,
moron.
weak-minded.
I always think of that comic where Jar Jar and his parents are shipwrecked on a planet or a island, and his dad wants to kill himself because Jar Jar's so obnoxious.
I mean, it's weird that he talks like that when the others are much more, cognizant.
Has he got learning difficulties?
Probably. But you should leave Ahmed Best alone because he's all right, really.
Yeah, leave him alone. He suffered really. He was
So despite
ripped to fucking
that,
shreds for that,
despite that fuck up on that corner where we went really wide, we still came fifth in qualifying. That's good. That means that realistically, the rest of his track and my teammate only qualified fucking 9th. We're ahead of Fernando Alonso, who I believe is our person, or maybe it was Lance Stroll. Either way, we're ahead of him. We got this. We got this shit, Ben. All 20 odd laps of it. Fuck you, Lance Stroll.
Yeah.
He's useless. He shouldn't be in the sport. I'm sorry, Lance, if you're watching this, but it's true. You know it as well. Why you're watching this, I don't know. Maybe thought you'd watch some random person's YouTube video because they can't possibly get you down. Well, sorry, Lance, you're shit. Anywho, are you there?
Yeah, sorry, I was letting you do your thing. A new story has come out in the last few hours.
Is this for Tsunami?
Okay. No, what tsunami?
Oh, it was a news story that came out whilst we were recording my last video.
All right.
Tsunami warning off the coast of California.
Oh, Nelly. This Harry Potter TV show.
Oh, okay, yeah.
They've apparently a black actor is reportedly being considered for the role of Snape in HBO's Harry Potter series.
Okay.
And I think he's far too attractive to be Snape.
Do you
Snape
want to
should
fuck
be
it?
No.
Okay, well, that's fine.
I just think he's a handsome gentleman. I mean, I'd lie in his arms, but I just think he's just too
You're such a whore,
good
you
looking.
are. You'd lie in his arms.
Not a
Oh,
whore.
I just lied in your arms tonight. Oh. So we fucked that up, but we have gained one position. We went in too deep on the first corner, but that's allowed on the first corner, really. Everyone goes too deep on the first corner. They're a bit more. They're much less mindful to track limits on corner one than they are any other time in the race. So.
Huh.
Anyway, so a black actor for Snape, and you think he's too attractive?
Yeah.
Well, how do you know?
One.
How do you know that they're not casting him for young Snape? No, it still wouldn't work, would it?
Is that like young Sheldon?
Maybe.
It's weird that series got so many seasons. I thought about it like earlier this year, and I was like, oh well, it probably ran for like 2 or 3 seasons and maybe got cancelled.
Did it get like
No,
7
it ran
or
for it got 7. It reached a natural conclusion.
I mean, it makes sense that they would want it to try and reach a natural conclusion.
Yeah. Now we just need old Sheldon starring Wallace Shawn.
We can't because he was in Young Sheldon. As
what?
He was in Young Sheldon as one of the teachers.
Oh.
I think. I'm pretty sure he was. You might want to double check. You might want to fact check that, but I'm pretty sure he was in it.
He was, yeah. Yeah. So,
I mean, Christ, Elon Musk was in Young Sheldon. It's not a badge of honor to have been in it.
Sounds weird when you say Elon Musk was in Young Sheldon.
It does. God, I'll be careful. He might sue me like he's a British diving expert.
Yeah, instructor, yeah, or something. I mentioned at the end of the last video that Tyrrell as well, or Tyrell.
Yes.
And I wonder whether you heard about this. There's been a development in the Princes in the Tower murder case.
So really?
Yes. This was on a Channel 5 documentary, so well regarded.
Fucking hell! I'm redoing that.
Let's say amateur. I don't think it was an amateur historian. Some historian found a last will and testament, from the wife of a very wealthy and powerful gentleman of London in 1520 something, 22 maybe.
Okay.
Anyway, in her last will and testament, she bequeaths to her son a gold. Yes, she bequeaths to her son a gold chain.
Okay.
Which she said once belonged to Edward the Fifth. Edward the Fifth.
Was that the Confessor?
No, Edward the Fifth was one of the princes in the Tower.
Oh, of course. Sorry, I forgot where we started this.
Yes. They immediately said, "Oh, that's the chain of office." Well, they didn't even say that. They just assumed it was the chain of office. So I'm guessing it's one of those things where if they refer to the king's chain, it can't. That's just how you refer to the chain of office. It must be that. So of course the question is, how the fuck did she get this? Well,
nicked it, didn't she? Pocketed it. Like the Scouser thief she is.
She happens to be the sister-in-law of a chap called James Tyrrell or Tyrrell. James Tyrrell.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And James Tyrrell was a loyal. He was like Richard III's chief goon.
Okay.
And Sir Thomas More, said that he was the one who killed the princes in the Tower.
Oh, okay.
So the suggestion is that he was either, after he killed them, he was either given it as a reward or took it on a whim, and then gave it to his sister-in-law, or it found its way into her hands, and then she gave it to her son.
Did you just see that textbook overtake there?
Yes, it did.
Thank you. Anyway, so yeah, he had it, and it ended up with her somehow.
Well, yeah.
Did he bequeath it to her?
I don't know. We don't have his will.
Can men bequeath? I don't know, maybe.
Yes.
Or is that just a fart?
Look,
yes. There are so few jokes I can make about this whole situation.
2 little boys were murdered, probably, maybe.
We don't know anything. I'm going to get fastest lap.
It's certainly more... It's pretty fucking big news. If you're a fucking history nerd.
Okay, well, I'm not.
Yeah. It's, they're saying, wow, that's pretty conclusive. It's not conclusive of shit.
Doesn't prove anything.
It's just interesting. No, it doesn't prove a thing. He could have just nicked it from them, and then they were spirited away to France.
It might not be the same gold fucking chain.
Yeah, she might have made it up.
It might have been brass.
Yeah.
And there was an insurance job.
Also, pretty weird that she could just say that in her will.
Yeah.
You know, in 1522, when Henry VIII was their nephew.
Well, you know.
I don't know. I don't know. It's fucking. That's weird. It's probably historians will probably see that and go, yes, no, that. It's not as controversial as you might think, or as problematic as you might think. This makes a lot of sense.
That's quite a tight corner there.
But yeah, I really very interesting, and much more interesting than the whole the Princes in the Tower survived thing that Philippa Langley put out.
I wasn't aware of that, but I don't.
We talked about it. We talked about it.
Okay, yeah.
Yes, in one of these videos.
I mean, it's probably something that I nodded my way through. You wouldn't have even seen the nodding. You can't see the nodding I'm doing now.
That's all right. I nod my way through your F1 topics. It's fine.
Speaking of...
Oh, fuck.
Since you bring it up...
Go on, then.
There is actually a bit of...
phone out.
Bit of genuine F1 news.
Yeah.
It looks like Cadillac are going to be taking part from 2026, but also losing the Dutch Grand Prix after 2026. It's not going to be a regular fixture. Well, it's not going to be an annual fixture, at least. Which is probably going to piss off Max Verstappen fans and the Dutch, but, you know, that's the way it is. And we had a bit of a palaver during the race. Would you like to hear about it?
Yeah.
There was a wing mirror issue.
Is there?
A wing mirror came off a car whilst it was driving along. It didn't get hit by anything. It just seems... It looks as though, to me, as if wind resistance caused it to break off, which makes it suggest that it's quite a shoddily built car. But it was one of the lower team cars, so that makes sense to me. The wing mirrors are basically useless anyway, so it's not, you know, it's for when they're stationary more than it is for when they're, you know, going along at speed. But it was in the racing, or it was in the overtaking spot, the only real overtaking spot on the entire track back in Qatar. So it was a bit of a danger. They had what we call double yellow flags, which means you're not allowed to overtake in that area. You need to lift off, which is where you stop accelerating, so that you slow down a bit, and, you know, be a bit more cautious, and definitely no overtaking in that area. Lando Norris did not lift off, and therefore he got a 10-second stop-go penalty, which is one of the harshest penalties you can get. Because what you need to do is you need to go into a pit, which requires you to slow down to 80 kilometers an hour. Stop in your pit space. They can't do any work on it for 10 seconds, and then you leave, again, leaving the pit for your 80 kilometers an hour, and then you can carry on racing again. So it's basically like a 40-second penalty, because by the time on that track, it's like a 20 odds to 25 second pit stop, time loss that you get for going in the pits to do work. You don't lose 10 seconds when you stop for 10 seconds, because you lose more than that because you're not going to be there for exactly 10 seconds. You're going to overshoot it a little bit because your reaction times aren't good enough, all that kind of shit. So it was quite a harsh fucking penalty for that. It was on the track for 4 laps, this piece of wing mirror. They only ended up removing it because someone ran over it, shattered it into God knows how many fucking pieces, and it gave 2 people punctures. At which point they neutralised the race with the safety car, slowing everyone right down so they could safely remove it from the track and dealing with it. So it's been quite a bit of a controversial time. Now McLaren, who Lando Norris drives for, and my teammate, in fact, they've queried why this penalty happened like that, but they're not arguing it. They're saying, no, fine, the penalty was deserved. We think it was too harsh. Obviously, we can't do anything, but we need to look at it for next time. Which I think is a fair thing to do.
Absolutely.
You know, it has meant that they couldn't secure the Constructors' Championship this last race. So it is going down to the final one. Whether that's intentional by the race stewards, I don't know. I'd hope it isn't, but they have a history of doing silly things, make things a bit more interesting. 2021's finale included. Fucking Michael Massey can go suck a dick if he's even alive anymore. I don't know. I don't care. But yeah, it was a bit of interesting drama. It was actually quite an interesting race because we had a lot of spin outs. People weren't. Oh shit. Yeah, it was an interesting race. Much more interesting than it looked like it was going to be. I'm going to undo that because he crashed into me.
You cheater.
This is the second time we've done this, Ben. Oh, I've done it again! I've done it again! I've done it again, Ben! I did the exact same fucking thing. It's because I'm trying to clear that bit on the right. I need to press the button a number of times, but it's hard to see it and trace. There we go, that's better. Charlie needs to not crash into me. There's a bird I know in Durham who really fancies him.
A bird you know in Durham.
Yeah,
my God.
And I'm telling you, he looks like a bottom. If you Google Charles Leclerc, his surname's on the screen. If you Google that, I'm telling you, he looks like a bottom.
Okay, let's have a look at this bottom.
He does, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's a cutie.
She calls him Pookie. She's really fond of him, and she's also got massive tits.
Yeah, okay, well.
Oh, it's true. I couldn't, you know me.
Yes, unfortunately.
I didn't ask her to show me.
Are you finished prattling on your F1 stuff?
I think so. Did I? Oh,
okay.
No, there's one more thing. Zhou Guanyu, who is the Chinese racing driver who will not be in Formula 1 next year by the looks of things.
Joke's on you.
Zhou Guanyu.
Zhou Guanyu, okay.
Zhou Guanyu. They scored 8 points, which is the most points that their team has scored this year. Indeed, it is the only points that their team has scored this year. So that was a very successful race for them. Yeah, they should be very pleased with that. It's a shame that they're not going to be in the thing next year, but that is how it goes sometimes, sadly. They haven't scored points since Qatar last year, so that was like the last. It's been a whole year since they got points, and I'm pleased that they got them because it means that no team finishes on 0 points this year, which is always a bit embarrassing, isn't it? If a whole team goes without points.
Yeah.
I mean, even Logan Sargent scored points.
Even he did it. Jesus.
Only 2 of them, but still, that's more than none.
It is. It's 2 more than none, isn't it?
So yes, I believe I am done with the old F1 knowledge.
Right.
The next one is Lewis Hamilton's last race with Mercedes. That could be interesting, but we'll have to talk about that next week after it has happened.
Yes, I look forward to disassociating for that as well. Right.
Oh, actually, I've got one more turny tiny thing.
For fuck's sake, go on.
I started listening to an F1 podcast. Starts in 2018, and the first it's weird listening to them talk about what they expect the future will hold for them, having listened to it now 6 years after it was recorded, and knowing exactly what the future holds for them. So at the time, Lewis Hamilton, who was in the first full episode, it was an interview with him, basically an hour-long interview with him. He was a 4-time world champion at that point. He's now a 7-time world champion, and it's just interesting to see that, you know, how things have changed compared to what he's expected. And there was a surprise input from a Spice Girl. Would you hazard to guess which one?
So, which Spice Girl looks like the F1 fan? I'm going to discount Victoria Beckham.
Okay.
I reckon
It's worth noting one of them is married to the Red Bull team principal, which is why she was involved. There was an interview with him for an hour, and she piped up to say that he'd make a good interior designer or something.
Is it Mel B?
No, it's not.
Is she the scary one?
I think
Sporty.
So.
I don't know.
Sporty is Mel C, I think. It was Jerry. It was Baby Spice.
Oh,
Jerry Halliwell / Horner, who married Christian Horner, who we talked about before when he was having his WhatsApp stuff. Yeah, apparently she makes a mean lasagna. At least she used to back in 2018.
Right. He made a nice lasagna in 2018.
They had they had lunch. They fed the guy that was doing the interview, and it was a lasagna. And I know that, but I don't know if there was garlic bread. I don't know if there was salad on the side. If it were me, I'd want salad on the side, maybe with a nice vinaigrette. And a bit of garlic bread, maybe a bit of cheesy garlic bread, personally. But what about you? What would you want Baby Spice to cook for you? Oh, shit. Yeah, go on.
I'd like a chicken, honey chicken panini sort of thing.
Yeah, that works.
Something fancy but light and tasty. The sort of thing you'd get in the cafe of an independent bookshop.
Yeah, that makes sense. Actually, there was something interesting. 2 interesting things about that interview that I do want to share with you. They're not Formula One related technically. They just happen to be from a Formula One podcast. Now, first off, the guy that they were interviewing, Christian Horner, they apologised at the very start for the fact that their dogs may be heard in the background. About 10 minutes in, he offered to kill one of the dogs because it was whining at the door. It was very deadpan. It was very deadpan with do you want me to kill that dog? But it was so deadpan that it almost came across as serious. So
well, that's the risk, isn't it? I mean, I'm very, very dry.
Yeah.
Humour-wise,
I'm sure not being able to see it. Serious. I'm sure if I could see his face when he said it I would have known very clearly it was a joke. But I just had audio. Yeah. The second thing, it turns out that when he was a Formula driver, I think it was Formula 3 he was in. I've seen jokes before that he wasn't fast enough for Formula 1, which makes sense. Turns out that he had a sponsorship deal with a cake company, and they said that if they sold out all these cakes, then they'd be able to give him a big bonus, right? And because the cakes were made in partnership with the Spice Girls, it was a promotional thing that was in partnership with the Spice Girls. So in a way, because of how successful the Spice Girls are, they helped give him a massive bonus many years before he'd met any of them. So his wife, before they were married, helped fund his Formula 3 career, which is just sort of a neat little thing, I think.
Do you know Stephen Fry had to explain to the then Prince Charles what a Prince Albert was because of the Spice Girls?
Why? Because of the Spice Girls?
Because there was a line. It was one of those. I think it was the Royal Variety Show or something. Some sort of performance where maybe for the Prince's Trust. I don't know. There was a lineup where the Prince goes along the line and says, "Oh, hello, lovely stuff," or whatever, to all the people. And he met the Spice Girls, who were very giggly,
as he would be,
and had no respect for the institution.
I mean, that's kind of our whole deal back in the 90s, wasn't it?
And apparently, one of them asked if he had a Prince Albert.
Oh, okay.
And the only Prince Albert he knew of was his great uncle. No further than that. The one who was married to Victoria.
The one who they named the hall after.
Yeah. And Stephen Fry had to explain because he was on friendly terms.
In that Kunk thing I was listening to, which I want to come back to later, she described Prince Albert as full name Prince Royal Albert Hall, which is one of the silly little things that they do. In fact, I'm going to go to it. The other joke that really stuck with me, because obviously I sent you a short clip, didn't I?
Yeah.
The other one that really stuck with me was that she wasn't going to go into Islam, because for that you should instead read her illustrated guide to Islam, which, or a full illustrated history of Islam or something like that. And I love those stupid sort of jokes, because they're the ones where obviously they're a joke, right? You know they're a joke, but you need to have a little bit of knowledge to fully get it.
It's amusing if you know why.
Yeah, and there's a lot of jokes like that, and there's a lot of stupid humour in there that you don't have to think about, and that's one of the reasons why I really love the Clunk stuff. I really think if you gave it a proper go, you'd really get into it. I mean, you heard that clip. Surely that amused you.
No.
Not,
sorry,
not at all.
She doesn't. It does not do it for me. I'm sorry.
I'm not asking you to fuck her. Jesus.
Well, I liked her and Barry Shitpeas on Charlie Brooker's stuff when they popped up.
But he helps write this stuff.
Well, yeah, I know, but it doesn't. Yeah.
She's just the presenter, as it were. If it's not for you, it's not for you. I think it's really fucking neat. These are my potatoes if I was Marge Simpson. That's another joke that you viewer would get if you know just a little bit of knowledge about how neat she thinks they are. I just think they're neat.
Well,
yes, go on.
I found a subreddit.
Oh God.
That I thought would be useful for this.
Oh God.
In case we needed to fill time, it's called r/hypothetical situation.
Are you out of topics? Is that what?
No, I've still got loads of topics.
Oh, okay.
But I just thought I'd try a couple of these.
Okay.
So, $100,000, we'll say pounds, a year, but you become naked for exactly 1 second at a random time each month. Do you take it?
For 1 second?
Yes.
How often do I get this money, Sammy? Every month?
Every year you get 100 grand.
I'd probably do it, yeah. 12 seconds of nudity, during which I may already potentially be naked. What's the problem?
You might be on the toilet, or in your private space, or in the middle of a queue in a shop.
Yeah, 1 second. People are going to have to rub their eyes and be like, hang on, is this happening?
Oh, yeah, it's fine.
I don't see why that's such a question.
No, it's not. It is the top one in this subreddit.
I think the real thing is, would anyone actually really be able to prove it after the fact?
Well, I'd be fine with it. I mean, if you were being recorded.
Well, even if you were being recorded by a security camera, who's going to believe that this random person was randomly naked for 1 second? Like, how is anyone going to believe that? Because
it's it's so little a period of time that you're essentially not naked.
Yeah, the real trick is making sure you're in the same clothes afterwards.
Yeah.
Because if you're in different clothes, then that's just a quick change.
Yeah. For £100 million, you'll be put in a coffin.
Okay.
They nail it shut and they bury you 6 feet underground. You have enough oxygen for 6 hours, and that's guaranteed. But when they bury you, they draw straws from 100, right? If they draw the one short straw, they don't dig you up. Any of the other straws, they dig you up after 6 hours.
1 in 100 chance of being buried alive.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you were buried alive regardless, right? Of saying that. I don't know.
I'm taking it.
There is a part of me that feels like I would enjoy the confinement too much.
That's your worry.
Well, no, but then I'd 6 hours had passed. Do I know how long it's been? Do I have a clock?
No.
Okay.
It's just you and a torch, I think.
Me and a torch. Okay. I need to make sure I got the right button for this, because this could fuck me up.
For 6 hours, I mean, your mind's going to start racing after a while, isn't it? You're going to think, oh fuck, it's been more than 6 hours.
I'll time it by ranks.
And it's been 40 minutes. But yeah, I'd take that. Would you stop?
Jesus.
Oh. Ram him. Would you stop time for 500 years?
For so it'd be whatever time of day it is. Like if I stopped it now, it'd be this time of day
Yeah. The
for
time of day
500.
will remain constant. Food won't spoil and services will continue to operate normally. Physical changes can still occur to your body. You can build muscle, get injured, or even die.
Okay, so if I die
You won't age.
in 500 years, people will find my dead body.
Yeah. I don't know whether you'll rot, though, is the thing. There is an optional memory recall, which will allow you to remember things perfectly if you take it. We'll just throw that into the bargain so you remember everything perfectly. It's like it happened yesterday, even if it happened 498 years ago.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, maybe I'd finally get that fucking book written.
I don't know whether you can do that, is the thing. I mean, that's what I do. I just end up writing. Writing and working out.
Reading.
It'd be nice. It's like a 500-year sabbatical. 100 million that you get dropped in a random part of the ocean for 30 seconds every day for 5 years.
No, thank you.
You are teleported. You are teleported back.
It's such a hassle, isn't it? I don't think I want that. I'd be soaking wet.
And it happens at 3 o'clock every day.
I'd be wet. I'd be annoyed. I work at 3 o'clock 5 out of 7 days a week.
Well, here's what you do. You plan ahead. You bring a towel in your bag. You nip to the loo at like 2:50. You get naked. You switch into like a swimsuit.
Yeah.
Right. Then you're teleported. You come back. You take your swimsuit off. You dry off. You get changed in your clothes again. You pop out. You know.
I mean, I suppose. I'm not too sure why there's a safety car. Oh shit. Oh, that's bullshit. That is.
Some of these are just fucking nuts. You get a perfect 10 out of 10 body. However, in the next 5 minutes, you will get shot.
That doesn't seem like a fair deal. Look at the safety car. It's an Aston Martin. Oh, what's his name? Jerry something? Bert Mylander. That's it. That's who's driving that car in front of us. Bert Mylander.
God, you perfect face, perfect skin, perfect muscle definition. You will still age, but you will age extremely well.
Oh, like Aung San Suu Kyi before she got let out of house arrest. She aged real fucking well.
You won't gain excess fat no matter what you eat, and the people who are currently in your life, no matter how drastic the transformation would be, will still recognize you as you, but more attractive.
Oh.
People are like, God, you're looking well, Jordan, with your six-pack and your gorgeous skin.
Well,
and your slender physique. Why have you? God, you must change up your skincare routine.
Yes, I'm bathing in baby's blood.
Yes.
Donated, just to be clear. I'm not kidding.
In order to achieve this, a man will appear within the next 5 minutes and shoot you purposefully with a 9mm beauty bullet in a non-artery, non-instantly fatal area. The man disappears completely after that. You can't call for anyone to help you until you are shot, and then you can't ask for anyone to help get first aid, and then you can ask for help to get you first aid in hospital. Not written particularly well. Aside from the 5-ish minutes you are given, you have no prep time and can still bleed to death.
I have a first aid kit here, so as long as it's somewhere, as long as I have access to both of my hands, that is, as long as I don't get shot in one of my hands, I should be fine. Like, it's literally within reach of me right now. Not quite so easy because I've got the controller in my hands, but I could pause this.
After you recover from your wound, there will be no bullet scarring, and you will have your new body. Do you take the deal? Yes, please.
Yeah, probably.
Do you have any idea how much easier life is when you're pretty?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
If you're pretty and likable, that's like basically you're playing life on easy mode.
You don't even have to be likable. People will just like you and put up with it because you're pretty.
Yeah, I'd take that in a heartbeat. That's the thing. That's why So many pretty people don't have great personalities because they just don't need to do it. They don't need to build a personality, and they don't suffer enough to build one anyway, do they?
No.
Really?
They're not tested by circumstance.
Not all pretty people, but you know, us uggos. Well, I say us uggos. You know, we've got a bit of character.
So there's a thing we've got to do here, where we're going to have to restart the race. Not like from the very beginning. We are going to be in charge of restarting the race. When when we get to a certain point, it's going to be we'll cross a line, and after that point, we that's the start of the race. But we decide when we cross that line. So we're going to want to back everyone up like we are doing. I mean, everyone's backed up anyway. Backed up like my toilet after curry night, you know. And then we're going to want to try and get the jump on them, which is how you do a restart after a safety car. You want the guy behind you to be surprised that you've gone when you've gone, right? Because then you build a gap.
I've got another one of these.
Gone.
But it's better for the comment. A genie grants you £10 if you go 24 hours without orgasm/ejaculation.
Yeah, I can do that.
If you go another consecutive 24 hours, he gives you 20, and then 30, and so on, increasing by $10 each day. Right?
$10 or $10,000?
£10, a tenner.
Oh, hang on. You get a tenner for.
Yeah. So there's no upper limit. On day 30, you'd receive £300, and on day 200, you'd receive 2,000.
I don't know if I could go that long.
No, I don't think it's worth it. Top comment is, I assert dominance on the genie by furiously jerking off while making intense eye contact with him. After each time, I hand him a tenner.
I mean, that is sexual assault. But contextually funny. And potentially contextually acceptable as well.
You get $3 million,
yeah.
Or you can speak every language fluently.
Or
every language fluently, or 3 million.
I'd take the language. Because it doesn't specify. Like from that, it doesn't specify that they have to be currently used languages, right?
Yeah.
So if being fluent in a language, say, imagine for a moment you're fluent in, you know, I don't know.
He has added a caveat.
Oh, go on.
Just open the post. Yes, you can also read and write every language, including extinct languages.
Okay, then yeah, it's a no-brainer. Think how easy it is going to be to make money as someone who can translate ridiculously old things, being a living Rosetta Stone.
My only criticism of that is there's no reason people would think you weren't making it up.
Oh, if it was close enough to what they knew, right?
I suppose, but even then, you're just some guy who strolls into the British Museum and is like, "Yes, that tablet says this."
We could find out.
I would take.
I see. I want to know if it means that you can also understand subtext within the written text, because I want to know exactly what the deal is with those dodgy bits of copper.
I would take the language as well, to be honest.
It'd be helpful.
3 million is great, but it's sort of boring, you know.
You could be a UN translator.
I could, yes, and it's just fancy as well. Yeah. I could bitch out so many people without them knowing.
I had a bit of a flirt with someone in German last Friday night. Like in person, me and my partner were out drinking, and we were chatting with someone.
Flirting with everybody.
No. Me and my partner were having a chat with someone, and we were talking about how they're not, their English isn't great, but they're great with Polish, and they speak a bit of German. And my partner looked at me, and I looked at her with the whole, I can do a bit of German, and I basically said to her in German, which isn't quite right, but it's close enough, "You look like my next girlfriend."
All right, what did she say?
She didn't understand it.
Probably for the best.
No, it was fine. It was lovely. We were having a good old bit of banter. She kept accidentally pushing herself against me. At one point,
Right.
she accidentally nearly sat on my lap. So,
Where are you finding these women?
well, we were all well. They were both a little bit drunk, so I suppose that probably helps. But I'm a likable person. Why? I don't know why you.
No, you are. I sort of have. I'd love to sit in a corner and watch.
Oh, would you? Would you now? You want to sit in the cook chair, do you? Is that what it is?
Well, I'd sit there and I just watch
With a
and just sort of
notepad. Yes. This is the technique, is it?
I just sort of take it all in.
Honestly, I am wonderful in person, and it's only because you know how much of a dick I can be. If I'm just trying to have a good time, I'm not. There's no other shit going on, so I can just concentrate on having a good time. Then it's all good, you know.
Well, I'm sorry you can't concentrate on having a good time when you're around me.
Well, you know, when was the last time I was around you?
You know, you're around me in a sense now.
Yes, but I'm having to concentrate on this fucking driving.
Mm.
Leave me alone, Charlie. You bottom. Keep away from my butt.
Here's a fun one.
Go
on. We'll do two more.
All
right. You have 24 hours to play any video game of your choosing.
Oh.
Any currency you earn will be converted into real money.
I would go with Adventure Capitalist.
Is that big bucks?
That is the kind. That's one of those cookie clicker style games.
Somebody mentioned cookie clicker.
Yeah, it's not actually money. You'd get a fuck ton of cookies, contextually.
Yeah, but that's the currency of the game. It would be the conversion rate. They say is one whatever to one.
Well, suffice it to say, within 24 hours, you are having billions of whatever the currency is. I think it's dollars, but I'll take billions of dollars over not billions of dollars. Right.
Okay. Well,
I've seen some people suggest you play Minecraft because you can easily get blocks of diamond in that time. Diamond and gold.
I'd probably do the Sims and just do the motherload sheet.
Yeah, I mean you don't have to even.
I don't know whether
play
that's
it,
earning.
Well, there I suppose that's not, is it?
There are 1,000 pills. One of them kills you instantly. You get 500,000 for every pill you take. How many do you take?
You get Sorry, that's how many? What are the odds of getting a pill that you don't want?
1,000 pills.
Yep.
One of these pills will kill you instantly.
Okay. And
for each pill you take, I guess including the one that kills you instantly, you get 500,000.
I mean, I'm not that fussed about living. I just take a handful of pills and see what happens. Because even if I've got that money, who then gets that money when I die?
Your son.
Okay, so no matter what, he gets a big payout, right? Either I get a shit ton of money, or he gets a big payout. But the real issue for me is I can't swallow tablets.
That's ironic.
What, because of my last name and my willingness to take cock?
Yeah, I was sort of alluding to it. You just jumped right in there. Hey ho.
Yeah, it's somewhat funny, isn't it, that I can't swallow tablets?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Would you like?
I don't know quite how it happened, but there was a slight collision between us and Max Verstappen, who is my current competitor in the championship. We are on both got the same score. There was a slight collision as I was exiting the pit lane. They had another pit stop to fix whatever damage they've got. I haven't, which means that because it was safety car conditions, they're probably way back down the field, which gives me a massive advantage over this race. If as long as I can stay in front, I can pull 26 points away from them. That'd be good, wouldn't it? It gives me a single race buffer. I can crash out and it won't matter. On a different race, that is. Monaco. It's my Monaco buffer. That's what that is. Alright, carry on.
Well, that's nice. Yeah, would you like another topic?
Yeah, go on then.
I
fucking suck at that corner. Would you like one of mine?
Yeah, go on.
Hang on.
How many you got?
A few.
All right.
So someone got in trouble with tax law this week. Did you see?
Yes. Don't tell me. Oh, yes.
Yes.
Rupert Grint.
Yes, I wrote down Ron Weasley struggles with Muggle tax law, uh, which I think is a funny take on that, but obviously it's not going to be an original take.
No.
But it was the first thought I had upon seeing the article, so I hadn't, like, it wasn't like I'd read a public discourse section on it and then said, aha, yes, this is what someone else has thought. I'm going to write this down. It was, I had this thought independently of anyone else, but I'm aware that it's probably the obvious joke. But yeah, he's had a bit of trouble with tax law, hasn't he? I didn't read too much into it, but that's a
No,
thing.
I didn't either. Wasn't particularly interested.
But I've got two other money ones. How much compensation do you think you get for having a smooth Mars bar?
You would get a box of Mars bars.
Nothing quite so obvious.
A box of Twix.
£2.
Alright.
Someone reported a smooth Mars bar out of just out of curiosity, really, because they were surprised that it had existed. They ended up getting £2 compensation, which is enough to buy probably half a Mars bar with inflation and shrinkflation.
No. When was that? Jesus, you sound like Bill Gates trying to guess the price of milk.
I don't buy chocolate. Okay.
You can get a Mars bar for like 89p, I think, or 90p.
Oh, you can buy 2 Mars bars.
You can buy 2 Mars. Fucking hell.
I don't buy Mars bars. They're not my kind of bar.
And then you got your raise.
I don't buy Mars bars. Oh, that's a point actually. Someone at work today was suggesting that it'd be nice if there was some sort of recognition for the good work that we do. And there I am, having got my raise a couple months back, thinking, yes, it would be nice, wouldn't it? I'm good at keeping stum about money when it comes to. I mean, considering I'm basically an accountant, I'm good at keeping stum about money at work. But
yeah,
it was a bit of an uncomfortable situation because we're all under the cosh a bit at the moment at work. It's all a bit stressful. But I do a fucking good job. So today I spent the best part of an hour and a half, 2 hours, checking 2 other people's work that had been done a couple of weeks back. That I've not done the equivalent of this work for about 5, maybe more years. And I found a mistake that both of those people had missed, and it's like a 60 grand mistake or something. Like it hasn't actually cost us money. If anything, me finding it saved us money, right? When we're not accounting for a cost that doesn't exist. So it's going to make things look better for that period's accounts. But like, why has it come to the stage where someone who is 5 years out of date in how to do this thing is finding this mistake? Some of it from like 3 months ago. Like it shouldn't be my job to spot this. We're well past the point of it having been my job to spot it.
How do I take a screenshot on this?
What are you on? Your phone or on your computer?
My phone. I'm sorry. I've just I was scrolling through Tinder.
Oh, okay.
And I found someone, and I thought of you.
Okay. Male or female?
Female.
Okay. Are you sending me this thing that you're screenshotting? You're gonna
yes, I just.
Okay. Have you sent it already? Oh yeah, you have.
Yeah.
Through. Why did you think of me?
I just.
If you're into redheads with green eyes, freckles, and plus size, then you're in the right place. I mean, to be fair,
I saw the picture and I was just like, yeah, okay, that.
I would swipe right. To be fair,
I know.
Like, what's wrong with?
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. I just thought it was amusing that I know you so well.
Well, you
as
know.
The musical right.
It's a shame they're so far away.
Would you like one of my topics?
Yeah, go on then. I lost doing this has meant that I've lost a space, by the way. Checking that cost me a space.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You will be. I've got to take it back now.
Well, one of my other topics that I wrote, I thought was a bit funny when I wrote it. South Korea martial law for a bit.
Yes, I was trying to work out a way of writing that into Billy Joel lyrics, Billy Joel lyrics, but I couldn't quite make it work.
South Korea, martial law.
If there's China's under martial law, isn't there? As one of the lyrics, but
I can't take it anymore.
no, that's Rock and Roller Cola Wars.
Yes, South Korea went martial law for a bit, and then the parliament sort of forced its way in and voted and declared it unconstitutional.
Oh shit!
I think it was like 3 hours or a few hours or something like that.
Yeah, nothing. It's not a massively long time. They are really big breasts in that. I'm just saying.
Yeah, see, I bloody knew.
They are, aren't they? That's like a. That's gotta be difficult.
Well, they sort of. I think they're pushed up. They're presented in the first. This is safe for work imagery, incidentally. This is not pornography. I just. I. No subtlety whatsoever. Just breasts.
Papaya rules.
I know someone who might approve.
I do approve.
But yes, South Korea is falling to bits.
Well,
just like France.
Yeah, France has got a problem, doesn't it, at the moment? But I suppose France has always had problems because it's France.
Yeah. Unlike us, who are fucking perfect.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far.
We just don't kick up a fuss about it.
Oh no, we have petitions. The French protest. We sign pointless petitions.
We bend over, bite the pillow, and take it like a good little bitch.
Oh, don't say that.
Why not?
I might get excited.
Well,
Lando!
You know, I'm flipping a coin with every sentence here, man.
You and me both, mate. It's a difficult time in my headspace at the moment. I don't know if I'm topping or bottoming.
Okay. Are you figuring yourself out for the 50th time?
No, I go through phases where I'm all over the place. It's referred to as me flip flopping. We joke about it. Sometimes I flip, sometimes I flop, right? And I'm in this awkward sort of in the middle stage at the moment. It's difficult. It's not fun because it means I can't really settle in something. You know, I'd rather be stuck on one mode and then I can sort of commit to it. You know. It's not easy being a Switch, you know. Actually, there's a test you can take online that sort of helps you determine where you're at and what you're into and all that kind of stuff. I actually recommend you take at some point. Like, I don't expect the results, but I think you'd find it interesting.
Well, maybe. Would you like another topic?
Sorry. Are we done with South Korea and France?
Well, have you got anything else to add?
No. Apparently there was
France had a vote of no confidence. The Prime Minister's resigned.
Michel Barnier.
Yeah.
Yeah, famous for.
You're worth it. Is that what that is?
No, that's L'Oreal.
Take care. This is my laboratoire. Have you seen that movie?
Yeah, I have.
Where the best laboratoire in the world, and the scientists are forced to use it to come up with hair treatment products. Yes. Yeah.
We are really struggling with a car like this. It is damaged. We've got to limp it round 3 more laps. Well, 2 more. No, 3 more laps. 2 more laps.
I like to imagine while this is going on, Agent 47 is getting.
I did that level last night.
Yeah.
Yeah, I set up a thing to electrocute the guy, and then one of the security guards went over it. So that was annoying.
Be careful.
So that's one kill that I didn't. I did the mascot mission story. So
yeah,
I just pushed her down the thing. It's just easier, isn't it?
Yeah, I did. I mistimed it the first time, and the guard saw me and started shooting me. That was annoying.
Did you give him the car keys back?
No.
I got the documents and then gave him the car keys.
Is there an achievement for that?
I don't think so, but it seems like a reasonable thing to do. I've got what I want. Why do I need to keep him away from his van? He doesn't have the outfit. He doesn't have. He walks towards the van when you do that. Makes it easier for you to take his clothes. Yeah.
No, it doesn't.
It does, because he walks towards away from areas where other people might see you down the hallway, and towards somewhere you can dump his body.
Well, I know there's a very long corridor behind him,
Yeah, well,
and I always use that. Just threw a can out.
there's
And he
two
goes, "What
people at the
was
end of
that?"
that hallway.
No, the one behind him.
Oh, okay, maybe. Yeah.
At least like a dead end. Um, no, I suspect you're probably I'm gonna leave one of these topics because I think if I'm right, you'll mention it next time
Okay.
because it's really more of a you thing.
Oh, okay.
Um, have you heard
Hardcore
of a chap
bondage.
called? You heard of a chap called Chris Moneymaker?
No, I have not.
Well, I watched a documentary, well, sort of a video essay type of
No,
thing,
you didn't, did you? A video essay, Ben? I can't believe that.
about
You.
this chap called Chris Moneymaker.
Okay.
Chris Moneymaker. What sort of profession do you think
Well,
he might be? That is his legal name, incidentally.
okay. I am going to suggest that they are either a male pole dancer
No.
in a Magic Mike style situation,
Yeah.
or they are, a investment banker.
You are wrong.
I figured I probably would be. They're the two
There.
obvious
Well.
answers, aren't they?
Yeah. Well, I suppose one would be one of the real answers, which is professional poker player,
Okay.
would be probably top 5, top 10. But before that, he was like you. He
Oh,
was an accountant.
I mean, I'm an assistant accountant, just to be clear.
Whatever. Um, and he played a bit of poker in his spare time. This is in the early 2000s,
Hmm.
2003 thereabouts. And one night he was playing, and he did really well in this little online tournament. He got to the final, and there were 4 prizes, right?
Yep.
Top 4 prizes. The fourth prize was like 5 grand.
Nice prize.
Yeah, yeah, especially because he had debt.
Hmm.
The other prizes were tickets to a poker tournament in Las Vegas, the
Okay.
World Series or something.
Hmm.
Um, and he made a deal with like his brother and his dad, I think, or a friend. Basically, he won one of these tickets, but they put some money in because he didn't really want to go, but they like invested in him and encouraged him to go and try out.
Hmm.
Um,
We've only got 2 corners
anyway,
left, by the way.
well, I'll wrap this up pretty quick. This video essay, as you can expect, he won this amateur, but it was
Naturally.
really good because it charted the whole thing, all of his games, and how he was really awkward and shy. Like he was at this table with all these professional players, and he was trying to throw them off by staring them down, and they were looking at him, and he was staring back,
Hmm.
and he was trying to figure out what's going on in that head of theirs, and nobody was budging. And then one of them went, "It's your deal,"
Brilliant.
and that was on camera. He was on the table that was being recorded.
Fantastic.
But oh my god!
Fuck off was Lance Stroll the driver of the day.
Yay!
Bastard Lance.
Yeah, and well, he won. He beat all these experts. He bluffed really well. He did really well, and he won like 2.5 million, I think. He had to give like 40% of that up because of the people who invested.
Yeah. But still.
And then he got divorced, which took a lot of that.
Of course he did.
But this is the moment when poker became a thing, really, because before then it was obviously people played it and it was popular, but the fact that an average guy who played it online had the big leagues and beaten these professionals and won encouraged a lot of other people to get involved. So 2003 was the year poker went mainstream. I can't remember the statistics, but there were drastically more people involved in the game the next year. And it was really, really interesting. So I can't remember what it was called. It was by EMP Lemon, I want to say, something like that. Yeah, it was really, really good. I really, really liked it.
Oh, that's good. You know who else plays poker? Professionally?
Who? Oh, well, yes.
A woman I
Victoria
apparently
Coren-
know quite well.
Victoria Coren Mitchell.
Yeah. What a coincidence, eh?
Yeah. I remember on QI, she told a story about how there was like a charity poker match like in the early 2000s, And Stephen Fry was there, Martin Amis was there, and an unknown Ricky Gervais was there. Apparently he lost, stood up and went, "What am I supposed to do now?" And Stephen Fry says, "There's a shotgun in the drawer."
Brilliant.
Good night, everybody, I guess, yeah?
Yeah, that's it.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.